today the question really is, what is NCI? What is non-clinical income? Is it the same as passive investing? And why should I care that I need to have more of it?
What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? Dr. Vikram Raya is a functional cardiologist, high-performance coach, and real estate expert. Is here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life, unlock your limitless potential, and achieve greatness, all while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in.
So, the question I always hear is passive income, passive income, passive income. Passive income is not really passive. And so I came up with a better term. I call it non-clinical income. That is really what a physician wants. A doctor is frustrated, right? All their money is coming from them doing some output of some sort. And they do this thing and they, generate income. We've been fed a bunch of, fantasy tales about, hey, all you have to do is generate passive income and then you never have to work again. All income is active income. It's just, how active or passive is it? It's sort of a gradient versus like an absolute. Like even any passive income you invest in, you have to do research, you have to look into it, you have to call your person, you have to fill out the paperwork. Then once you invest in it, then you have to make sure you follow up with it. Then there's your taxes and your K1. So it's not like you're completely, let go. It's just not as much as if you were actively doing something. So I really think what we're asking is the better question is, how do I create income outside of medicine, right? Or income outside of me actually doing the physical work of medicine. And I call that NCI, non-clinical income. So how do we approach this? Well, let's start up with number one. First, you optimize your CI, your clinical income. So as a physician, I want you to maximize the money you're earning. So if you're an employee, time to renegotiate your contracts, time to improve your RVUs, time to get a scribe so you're much more efficient and maybe you can see 1.5 times the number of patients. Maybe it's time to start doing what we call time to income ratio, right? Where you look at all the procedures and all the things you're doing and you see how much time it requires and how much income you make for it and you optimize that, right? If you make more money doing rhinoplasties than, Botox, you schedule it to where that's your primary time, what you do during the week. You get additional, you get MAs, then you get nurses, then you get RNs, then you get NPs and PAs, then you hire a second, third, fourth physician, right? You get a clinical manager. All of these things will help you increase your clinical income. You start a concierge practice, meaning there's a membership model. So now you still take insurance, but now you charge $25 a month, $100 a month. And that additional $1,000 or $1,200, if you multiply by 200, 300 patients, that's significant income now being brought in by other means, right? So all these strategies, I've talked about in my other content, it really helps create clinical income. But today the question really is, what is NCI? What is non-clinical income? Is it the same as passive investing? And why should I care that I need to have more of it? And so the answer is non-clinical income will make you free. Non-clinical income will make you feel wealthy. Non-clinical income will free up your time and you really have a quality of life and a lifestyle that you've designed. I really think physicians are looking for lifestyle design, fulfillment in their current profession, and flexibility and options in how they live their life. And this is the pathway to do so. So non-clinical income, first you start off with, optimize your investments in equities and stocks and options and mutual funds and ETFs. Then if you believe in the crypto concept, that's one option. The second option could be an exposure to real estate. Most people start with passive investments in real estate, which is great, right? You invest in syndications, you invest in REITs, ETFs that are real estate based, you invest in crowdfunding, different asset classes, office, residential. There is multifamily, there is hotels, student housing, self-storage, industrial, right? Those are all mobile home parks, RV parks. Those are sort of the main flavors, maybe the 7 to 9 flavors of real estate investing out there. That's passive. Then there's active. Most people start with something called short-term rentals, which are Airbnbs or VRBOs. It's great because there's a short-term tax loophole where if you get 100 hours, you get something called REP status, REPS status. Then the passive losses, the depreciation, the bonus depreciation that you're getting from the real estate can offset your active clinical income, which is very difficult to do. So that's, a form of NCI, non-clinical income. So then you start doing maybe small multifamily projects, and then you want to do large multifamily projects and maybe even go into syndication. So that is sort of the stair step fashion that I've seen a lot of people do in passive investments and then in active investments. But all of this is considered non-clinical income, right? People sometimes turn off their brain to all the opportunities that are available to them because all they're doing is trying to focus on passive investments. And because they are passive, the returns you're getting are not as going to be as robust as active investments. Now, even active investments, you can become actively passive. Like at this point, I've created a company called Viking Capital, and I've put enough team members and personnel in there to where I'm sort of actively passive, meaning I don't need to be there for day-to-day operations. I've created a system versus just me being a solopreneur. And so the concept is, whether in medicine or outside of medicine, the transition of a physician to go from an operator to an owner. And what happens is you increase the value of whatever you're creating, that business. That's called EV, or enterprise value, and it's worth a lot more. It creates more freedom and time, and it follows what Robert Kiyosaki talks about in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant. You have this cash flow quadrant where there's 4 boxes. On the top left, you have E, and then the bottom left you have S. The top right you have B, and the bottom right you have I. So being on the left side of the quadrant, less leverage, more hard work, less money, and this is where majority of the people are. On the right side of the quadrant, a minority of the people, maybe 10, 20% of the people, you have more money, more free time, less individual work. And how do you go from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant? You need education. You need dedication. You need to learn a new skill set. You need to change your mindset and beliefs. You need to probably get coaching and mentoring and get specialized knowledge. So that transition from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant is the shift that takes a physician from being in the back seat to back to being in the front seat again. And that non-clinical income can come in multiple ways. You can earn money in multiple ways. And I also consider having an ASC, an ambulatory surgical center, as non-clinical income, because it's not based on you actively working. You're getting this sort of passive investments because you own a surgical facility and you're getting the facility fees. You're part of a dialysis center. You're a partner in a practice and you're getting the profits and dividends from all that. So that's the key. Basically, where your stethoscope is not working for you, but it's your brain that's working for you. That key distinction is how you get NCI, or non-clinical income. So a lot of people ask me, hey, is this necessary? A lot of physicians are doing quite well without this. Well, I've looked at the statistics. I would say, most physicians are what I call high income, low net worth. They probably have 1, 2, 3, maybe $4 million of net worth, and they have a decent income between $200 to, let's call it, $700,000. That means that income is not translating into asset accumulation. What they've done is they have an inflated lifestyle, and if they don't start learning to accumulate assets, which is a better way of saying invest wisely, right? The investment strategy of a smart physician is accumulating assets and streams of income. You're buying income streams, you're buying assets that appreciate in value. Both these things will eventually increase your net worth and offset all the income coming from clinical means. So this should be a mandate for most physicians, but the problem is most physicians don't have the business knowledge, the investment knowledge. They are risk averse, but what they're doing is actually more risky than the people who are employing some of the strategies we talked about. Having everything dependent on a hospital or a practice, or even if you're sold to private equity, it's very risky. I know friends who sold to private equity. They're an orthopedic group, and now they're losing money, and the private equity company is tightening the screws, and their income's going down. I know another family member who is part of a pulmonary critical care practice. They started off with 8 physicians, and now over the years, due to attrition and to whatever reasons, they're down to 3 physicians, and so the value of their practice has gone way down, right? And now their income is being threatened. So I'll be honest, it's actually more risky to have everything in one basket, and that's exactly what's happening for most physicians. And if you don't have, I would say, a high 7 figure or even an 8 figure net worth, you're at high risk. To take any child and take him to 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of graduate school, throw in a wedding, that's going to be easily 7 figures for each child, right? If you want to be participating in that thing, obviously they can take loans, but some parents want to participate, right? So if you have 2 children, probably half to 2/3 of your net worth is just taken out by that. And then the cost of living has gone up. So if you actually want to retire at age 50 or 60 or whatever, and not have to draw down your principal, then you need enough income to, sustain that. So most physicians are not set up for that at this point, based on, my exposure to probably 1,000 doctors who I've spoken to, over the years. So I really think it's makes so much financial sense for physicians to embrace this and start having this as part of their portfolio. So I think there's 3 main financial milestones for a physician. It's the physician who's finished up training and is has a negative net worth, right? We've all been there. I finished my cardiology fellowship at the age of, I think, 32, 33. I had a negative net worth, and it sucked, right? I had this huge student debt. I was paid 30, 40, maybe 45 at my max in residency and fellowship. And I finally got my first job. I was paid $225,000 first year as a cardiologist. And I was like, how is this going to work out? How am I going to actually be financially free one day? And no one had taught me this non-clinical income concept, but I think I sort of stumbled upon it because I was like, all right, if all my income is still based on just my clinical salary by the age of 40, something went terribly wrong, right? I sort of made that declaration. So what I did was I needed to learn new skill sets that were not taught to me in medical school. So I started learning about business. I started learning about financial independence. I started learning about investing. I read books like The Psychology of Money, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. I read The Millionaire Next Door, all these different books, on these concepts. And it occurred to me that I needed to learn other skill sets. So I tried options trading, and I think options is a smart move, especially if you have a skill for it, or if you feel like you're very good at it. It also takes energy and time. I don't think I had the patience for it. So after 6 months of trying it out and getting my butt kicked, I'm like, all right, this is not for me. I tried some of the basic real estate strategies out there. I did try to do wholesaling, where you you get the house under contract and flip to somebody else who actually has the money to take it down, and you just take a small fee for it. Way too time and labor intensive. I tried, fixing and flipping, and my father and I got up to about, I think, 20, 30 homes. We did that in Atlanta, but the scale of what we're doing was not enough to really make an impact on our income, because we were using too much leverage, right? We would buy one deal, improve it. It would there be a valuation increase, and we'd, do a refinance, take out all of it, and move into the next one. So we had control of 30 deals, but the equity in all of them were very low. So that's when I really realized, multifamily is the way to go. And I really think multifamily is a smart investment for a lot of physicians, whether it's active or passive, to really increase your non-clinical income. I really do believe multifamily, whether it's active or passive, is a strong wealth creation vehicle for physicians. So, as I was in my journey, I started having these different income streams slowly coming in. And that's when I came upon 3 different levels for a physician to achieve a certain level of financial success. So the first level is what I call financial independence, where you're able to essentially take care of all your basic needs, your rent, maybe your car payments, your groceries, just the basic stuff, with non-clinical income. So let's say you need, I don't know, $10,000 or $20,000 a month to do your basic necessities. Probably let's call it $10,000 a month to your basic necessities. If you're starting, let's say you have $1 million invested at 10% and you're getting maybe, $100,000 a year coming in, that would be a level of financial independence, meaning you have non-clinical income coming in that's not based on you working as a physician, directly working as a physician, that's covering your basic needs. I call that financial stability. All right, so after you achieve financial stability, the next thing you want to achieve is what I call financial independence. That means your current lifestyle. So let's assume you're a dual income family, a family medicine doctor married to an ENT specialist, and you guys make, I don't know, $600,000 a year as a couple. And you need $30,000 a year to cover all your expenses, to live your current lifestyle. So now let's say you had $3 million invested across different platforms. There's other ways to do it, but I'm just using simple examples here. And that $3 million getting a 10% return somehow. And so you're having $300,000, that between, maybe be 3.5 million, let's call it. So that you're having like, $350,000. That $350,000 is covering your $30,000 a month expense that allows you to live your current lifestyle. So that's a way to achieve financial independence. And the final metric we like to do is what we call financial freedom, or absolute financial freedom. And this is where your dream lifestyle. So maybe let's say you need $60,000 a month to live your dream lifestyle. You can fly private, drive whatever car you want, live in any nice house, and just live like a dream lifestyle. So now you need to figure out how to get $60,000 a month non-clinically. So, maybe you have a practice that's ASC that's generating $20,000 a month. You have a lot of investments generating another $30,000 a month, and you have your dividends from your stocks getting $10,000 a month or something. So now all of that adds up to about $60,000 a month, and you're able to now live your dream lifestyle with non-clinical income. That does not mean you don't have to still work. You can still work as a physician. This just means that you've achieved these sort of financial goalposts. And so just to review, you have financial stability, which is replacing your basic needs with non-clinical income. Financial independence, which is living your current lifestyle with non-clinical income. And the final one is financial freedom, which is living your dream lifestyle with non-clinical income. So this is how I would structure it. This is the goals I'd go after. This is what I would talk to my financial advisor or my financial team for. And I'd start architecting this out so I could live my dream life, right? You can practice for as long as you want because you don't have to worry. You're just doing for the fun of it because everything else is taken care of by these other streams of income.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below or simply visit vikramraya.com. Until next time, be phenomenal.